Good afternoon, evening. I think it's evening now. Well, 4:30-ish. I've been outside in the garden. It's cold out there. I had to wear a coat. And it's rainy and the ground is saturated. I went looking for asparagus. There was no asparagus, sadly. But I've decided to make some lasagna. I have a few noodles that I need to eat up. I don't even know when I bought these. Well, the best use by date was last year in November, but I think they're okay. They need to be used. I have a small pan. It might be a 8-inch cake pan I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna, usually when I make lasagna, make a giant dish of it, and then I have to freeze part of it now that I'm living alone. And I only have so many noodles. I don't have a ton, so I can't really make a giant thing anyway. So I'm gonna force myself to make a small thing of it. So I have tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, some tomato paste, my noodles, and then I thawed out some mushrooms and onions that I sauteed a couple days ago, I think. I'm going to use those. It's going to be vegetarian, well, kind of vegetarian. I think I'm going to use beef bouillon in it, so not completely vegetarian, but a vegetable lasagna. I think I'm going to put the rest of my cabbage from last year's garden that's in the freezer. I have one more bag. I think I'm going to cook it up. I might microwave it and put it in the lasagna to get it eaten up, because the cabbages that I'm growing in the garden are getting big, and pretty soon they're going to be massive, and I'll have to start freezing them again because there's so many of them. Well, so much. The leaves, the cabbage is massive, and I don't just use the head. I use all the leaves. I don't waste any of it. So I'm gonna get some spices out of the cabinet and start making my sauce. I also have, I don't have any mozzarella cheese, but that's okay. I have other cheeses I'm just gonna use. I also have cottage cheese instead of ricotta, so I'm gonna use the cottage cheese in it. Yeah, that's about it. It's gonna be a small one. So I just got a few onions that I had frozen out of the freezer and sauteed them just to add a little bit more to what I had, the mushrooms and onions. I have a can of diced tomatoes, can of tomato sauce, and I think I'm going to use half the tomato paste and freeze the rest of it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of water. Half a can. I don't want to make too much, but I don't want it to be too thick that it won't cook the noodles when it's baking. some garlic. Probably should have used the fresh, semi-fresh stuff in the fridge. Some oregano. Those are two things, the oregano and basil, that I didn't grow this year because I had the dried stuff, so I figured I'd use this up first, maybe grow it next year. And a bay leaf. Okay. I'm gonna let this cook for a while. I usually use my Instant Pot so that it cooks up quick. But I'm probably going to eat this later tonight for dinner. So I got up late again. Yeah, I woke up really late. Again. So I'm going to be up late. So I'm going to eat my dinner really late, so this doesn't have to be cooked right away. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I think I'm going to make some chicken and rice again. I need to finish that off. I also need to freeze my sauerkraut. The marinara sauce is done. I did add another little bit of mushrooms and onions that I had sauteed the other day. I pulled another one out of the freezer because I wanted something. I'm used to eating a meat sauce with my lasagna, and I thought the mushrooms would add like a meatiness to it, I guess. There weren't very many mushrooms in just one little container that I had froze, so I used two. I'm baking a few cookies. So I have some, it's really dark. Okay, I think that's better. I have what's left of the container. I think it was a pint of cottage cheese, 1 egg. So I'm gonna mix the egg with the cottage cheese. I have some mix of cheese. It's a mixture of 4 different types of cheeses. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the sauce down in the bottom of the pan. I've got my lasagna noodles. Well, they almost fit. I don't think I'm going to have enough noodles to go two across for 2 layers. Just spread it out. Spread it out across the whole pan. This is all I have left. So they're broken pieces. I wonder if I can I'm afraid to put any more in there, so I'm just gonna put some more cheese on top and bake it. I'm gonna bake it for about 30 minutes in my little oven at 350. And see how it comes out. I forgot to mention, I need to cover it for the first little bit so it doesn't overcook on top. Okay. A little aluminum foil. It turned out a little more soupy than I thought it would. It tastes really good, but the bottom noodles aren't cooked quite enough. So I'm gonna put it back in the oven for maybe 20 more minutes. So I think my lasagna is done. I pulled it out of the oven. I'm gonna just let it cool on the counter for a little bit and then freeze most of it. I don't know what I'm gonna freeze it in though. Now I'm running low of little containers. Oh well. So, do you make your lasagna the same way every way? Or do you use what ingredients you have on hand? Most of the time, I will put in vegetables into the sauce. If I have a lot of zucchini in the garden in the summer, or summer squash, or whatever vegetable or green leafy thing I have, I usually cook it up in the sauce. I wish I had chopped up the cabbage smaller because the pieces are really big and it made it harder to eat. It was still pretty good. I think the cabbage is a little strong flavored, stronger than like spinach or some other leafy green vegetable. I think we have 4 more days of rain. It's finally stopped raining, I think. It's been drizzling all day long. Gray skies. I just want it to stop. I want to see the sun again. Oh. So I've not done a whole lot today. Practically nothing except do dishes and make lasagna. And bake cookies. A few cookies out of the freezer. And I'm tired. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm tired. I guess because I've been sitting around all day. So let me know how you make your lasagna. Normally when I make it with ricotta cheese these days. And I get mozzarella cheese. I also usually use cheddar or whatever I have, just like I did today. And I use a meat sauce 99% of the time. So I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a short video, I think. Hope you all have some sunshine wherever you are. No bad weather. I haven't looked at the news, so I don't know what's going on in the world right now. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye.